May
Right.
I? Part of the discussion is related to the para and secretary contract. And
We
there's-
split it up.
there are
Three of
two-
us.
Oh, is it
there are
split?
two
We split it
separate.
up.
Okay, great.
There are
Yeah.
two separate
Okay,
votes.
then yes.
Would you
I changed my vote to yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. May 21st is now 6:23, May 21st, 2025. In attendance with us is Ms. Kelly Steele, Mr. Jack Higgins, Dr. Barbara Starkey. Before we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, while we're standing after the pledge, if we could just have a moment of silence. This district and our communities have had some significant losses over the last month, and I would like to acknowledge that. So if we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could please have a moment of silence for Joan. Thank you. I see LakeCAM is here as always. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else that is recording the meeting tonight? Seeing none, go on to our next, just public input. Is there anyone here tonight for public input? Okay, seeing none. I'm going to go into chairperson's report. Need to do a clarification regarding the FY26 budget vote that occurred on May 7th, 2025. I want to clarify the May 7th, 2025 vote of the school committee regarding the FY26 budget. The vote involved the transfer of some funds from the excess and deficiency account to the budget for the purpose of preserving several teacher and paraprofessional teachers without raising the member town's assessment. At the May 7th meeting, 4 members voted in favor, 2 voted against, 1 abstained due to potential conflict of interest, and 1 member was absent. We believed at the time that the motion passed because of the 4 yes votes. Since that time, however, in light of rather unusual circumstances of this vote, we have sought further guidance from various sources, including our legal counsel and DESE. DESE's position, which is shared by our attorney, is that the vote on May 7th should have been for a revised or a new budget and not an amended budget. The reason comes down to semantics. In short, a budget can only be amended after it is voted on or approved by the member towns. That has not happened yet. Town meetings are scheduled for early June. Rather, the school committee's vote should have been to adopt a revised budget. A vote to adopt a revised budget requires a 2/3 of the entire committee, the same as the initial adopt of budget. 2/3 of the committee is 6 out of 8 members. In this case, only 4 members voted in favor of the revised budget, therefore, the motion did not pass. Although we may revisit this matter in the future, no further action will be taken at this time. For items 2, 3, and 4, I will be seeking votes at the conclusion of each section. Moving on to the next, we don't have all our students
We don't
yet.
have the students, Madam Chair, but I think the next topic that you could reasonably cover while we wait for the students is the next thing on the agenda,
Our
which is the
Calendar.
meeting calendar.
Yep. At our meeting, we provided Dr. Starkey with feedback. Here's the proposal SY 25 to 26 school committee calendar. Specifically taking note to how we are going to be doing our budget books a little bit earlier. We're going to do those in January. And we are going to be doing our votes in early March to make sure that we hit that March 31st deadline.
Through the chair, may I
Yes.
add a little bit to that?
You can.
So at the last meeting, we did look at this calendar and in the interest of staying within the confines of what we're expected to do for voting the budget, we did move the budget timeline up as Chair Blum is saying. We moved that up so that you get your budget books in January, and you'd begin public discussion around the budget and having a public hearing in February. You would vote for the budget at the beginning of March. We left room for an additional meeting in March, should you need it, so that we could make it to the March 31st deadline to secure an adopted budget. In addition, in order to make that room in the schedule, we moved some of the other topics around so that the meetings would be evenly dispersed. So the calendar is not identical to what you saw last time. We did move up, for example, the school improvement plan presentation from November to September. So there was some other jockeying of the calendar. So just calling your attention to that.
Okay, and as I previously stated, I'd like to vote on these after each section. So I'm seeking a motion to approve the FLRSC meeting schedule, calendar, and events for 2025 and 2026.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Okay, this needs a majority, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Any abstentions? Great.
Motion carries.
Motion passes.
Through the chair.
Yes.
May I also add that now that you have voted that calendar, it does affect your school calendar that you had voted on previously, in that we will now be identifying the new school committee meeting days on that calendar. So I believe it best that you vote right now on an amended school calendar that includes the school committee meetings that you have just approved. And that would be a majority vote. So
Do I have a motion
I offer
for
that
that?
to the chair.
So moved. Second.
Do I have any discussion?
The only change to this is just adding, rearranging the school committee dates, nothing to like kindergarten start date.
Not at all.
Okay.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any abstentions?
Any opposed?
Any opposed? Seeing none. Okay, that passes.
Thank you. If I could, through the chair, I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but it appears as though we have our students who are ready for their presentation, and out of deference to their study schedule, their AP exams, and all of the events they have coming up, I'm hoping that you would consider taking this out of order and hearing from our top 10.
Absolutely.
I think you need to
We
vote
do
on
need
that.
to do a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great.
Thank you so much, and with that, I'll call up Principal Dessert.
Good evening, members of the school committee. We thank you for allowing us this opportunity to present to you. It is my honor to introduce our top 10 students who have demonstrated exceptional academic excellence, dedication, and leadership throughout the year. Their hard work and commitment to excellence inspires us all, and we are incredibly proud to recognize their achievements today. We will start with number 10, Colby Blaze, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Colby Blaze, and I live in Freetown, Massachusetts. I am 18 years old, and I am ranked 10th in Apponequet's class of 2025. In the fall, I will be studying electrical engineering at Wentworth Institute of Technology in Boston. When I was 11, my family moved to Freetown from New Bedford, which meant a new school, new friends, and a new educational experience that I wouldn't trade for the world. I am in many classes with these fine folks, but alongside my academics and such, I'm also a two-time Physics Olympics Build-A-Head winner, an Eagle Scout, an AP Scholar with honor. I'm the president of our choir, which recently competed and won 3rd place in competition, an award-winning soloist from that same competition, and a member of 4 current choirs, including 2 at Apponequet, 1 community choir, and my church choir. If it wasn't already apparent, I love to sing. Some of my fondest Apponequet memories are traveling across the state to audition for and sing in honor choirs like districts and all states. Specifically, Mr. Edward Ledwith, our ex-band and choral director who retired last year, and Ms. Kendall, our new director, have been some of my most invested supporters. Their help and support guided me down a path with 2 performances at the Boston Symphony Hall on the way. So I would truly be remiss to not give them the biggest thank you in the world. Some other faculty that I would like to thank are Ms. Mordini, Mr. Levesque, Ms. Mills, and Mr. Murray. I only had Ms. Mordini once in my high school career, and it was for Honors English 10. She was such a joy to learn from. In fact, we had so much respect for her in her class that one day during an administrative error, we were left teacherless for a while. And we ran class just like normal by ourselves. When the sub came in later that class, I don't know what they expected from a class left completely unsupervised for an extended period of time. But I'm positive it wasn't 20 sophomores sitting attentively in their seats acting out the crucible. Another teacher, this one who I've never had as an academic teacher, but I've worked with him multiple times every year doing theater, is Mr. Levesque. During my freshman year, the musical was Legally Blonde. I auditioned for the lead male because what else is a freshman going to audition for? A supporting role? Never. After the first round of auditions ended, I got called up to try my fit as a different character, a supporting lead. Despite my misreading "for Christ's sake" as "for Chris Cake," he still gave me the role. I practiced so hard for that role, I think I still have it memorized. I will never forget the opportunity that Mr. Levesque gave to me. I've now played multiple leads in Apponequet shows, all because he gave me a chance. He reignited a love in theater for me that still holds strong to this day. Miss Mills is my physics teacher this year, but she has been an asset to me since last year doing Physics Olympics. She's given me a great opportunity to thrive as a science-oriented student. Her passion for learning is contagious, and her ability to support her students is nearly unparalleled. Last year, some of my favorite memories were working with her and my friend Teddy on Physics Olympics Build-A-Head, a 10-joule car. After Teddy and I ran through an exhausting number of design switches and far too many test runs, her invaluable feedback seemed to pay off, and we won that event in the games that year. Finally, Mr. Murray. I took my first class with him, Engineering 1, my freshman year. It seemed like a fun class, and I gave it a shot. I have to say, I have never made a better choice. Since taking that class, he has become invaluable to me. He has not only helped me with academics, specifically science, he has also helped me with Physics Olympics and even a project for AP Language, allowing me access to materials like his 3D printer and laser cutter. But above all, when I needed some experienced help creating a design for the Eagle project I wanted to make, a composter for my church garden, he gave me the insight I needed to design the very first draft. I made my Eagle Scout that same year. A symbol of his effect on my life is ever standing in my church garden, and on the badge I wear every time I put on my uniform. I could stand here for hours and rave about all the amazing teachers and the effects that they've had on me. But I will cut it short out of respect for your time. But before I do, I will leave you with this. One thing that our community has never forgotten, that I personally pride myself on, is that education only happens with the teachers like ours. Our school is our greatest asset. They provide the children of our community with lifelong connections and resources that play a role in every aspect of their lives. Every achievement that I have mentioned today has been the direct result of one or more teachers that I have mentioned, plus some that I have not. The future of our community lies with these people, and I hope that that is appreciated by all of us, as much as it is by, I know, our students, our parents, and every functional community in the world. Thank you, and good night.
Take a walk and shake everybody's hand.
Number 9, Lexi True.
Good job. Great job. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lexi True. I'm very excited to be here tonight. Throughout my time at Apponequet, I've been involved in an array of clubs, including being president of the drama club, vice president of book club, and a member of the cross-country team, the select choir, and Portuguese club, among others. This winter, I spent a lot of time applying to scholarships. I ended up applying to about 30 scholarships, and I'm proud to say that so far I've won 5 of them. My time at Apponequet has been full of great experiences and growth, but none of that would have been possible without the amazing support I've received along the way. I want to start by thanking all of my teachers. Every single one of them have gone out of their way in some shape or form to help with my visual struggles, and that has been instrumental in my academic success. I'm also incredibly lucky to have great friends who are willing to drive me to rehearsals, club meetings, and to school every day since they got their licenses, so thank you all for your kindness. But my biggest support has always come from my family. They have been the ones who have ensured that I was able to accomplish and experience everything I've wanted to do, and I'm extremely grateful for everything they've done for me throughout my entire life. I can still vividly remember sitting in Freetown Elementary School years ago and watching the seniors walk by in their caps and gowns. It's really only just started to sink in that I'm going to be taking that same walk in my own cap and gown in just a few weeks. In the fall, I will be starting at Roger Williams University as a political science and legal studies double major on a pre-law track. And even though starting a new phase of life is extremely nerve-wracking, I'm grateful that my time at Apponequet is something that I'm going to be able to look back on fondly for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Number 8, Ava Miller.
Hello everyone, my name is Ava Mello and I would like to thank everyone here today, especially Superintendent Starkey, Principal Desert, and the members of the school committee for giving us the opportunity to share our experiences in the Freetown-Lakeville School District. I moved to Asona in 4th grade and joined the district as I began middle school. From that very first day, I felt nothing but support from the staff, starting with Ms. Toolin and the 6,200 teachers. Like many students, my academic journey was disrupted by COVID, but thanks to dedicated teachers like Mr. Bosno, I was able to stay on track. High school gave me the opportunity to grow socially, academically, and through extracurricular involvement. I embraced every opportunity, and I'm standing here today because of it. Some of my proudest involvements include serving as Vice President of the Student Council Executive Board, acting as the Community Service Coordinator for our NHS chapter, competing nationally with our DECA team, playing varsity field hockey, and working a part-time job at Somerset Creamery. Through it all, I've maintained a strong academic standing, and I'm proud to be graduating 8th in my class. This achievement didn't come without hard work and sacrifice, and I am deeply grateful to those who helped me along the way. To my family, thank you for always pushing me to be myself, and I love you guys. And to the teachers and staff who made all of this possible, Mr. Solomon, Ms. Ferreira, Mr. Rosa, Senora Nardi, Ms. Cronin, and Ms. Gray, thank you for your guiding presence in my life and the lasting impact you've had on my time here. My experiences at Apponequet have been nothing short of amazing. From countless DECA trips to late-night Stuco brainstorming sessions, some of my best memories were made here. Looking ahead, I'll be attending George Washington University in Washington, D.C., where I'll be majoring in international affairs at their Elliott School. I'm incredibly excited for this new chapter, but before I go, I want to sincerely thank everyone who helped me write this one. Thank you for your time.
Jillian Marr.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jillian Marr, and I ranked 7th in the 2025 senior class. Throughout my high school years at Apponequet, I have participated in volleyball, varsity tennis, and DECA while completing 15 years of dance. I additionally received the president role of both Laker Leaders and the Green Team, and the data analyst role of the Executive Board of Student Council. I have worked diligently for my achievements, such as the AP Scholar Award, an ARHS Science Award, a South Coast Conference Honorable Mention, and the Laker Award for tennis. Alongside the praise I've received for my successes, I have such fond memories at Apponequet that I will never forget. One of my favorite memories, however, is the fun we recently had at prom. The music got everyone dancing, the delicious food kept everyone satisfied, and the patio was a beautiful location for all the photos taken. Every school-sponsored event has been such a special way to connect with my fellow classmates and peers. I want to give a special thank you to my mom, dad, sister, brother, my dog Cody, as well as the close friends whom I've spent my whole life growing beside. I would also like to thank Mrs. Dessert alongside the other wonderful staff here at ARHS. My achievements would not be possible without all of your support. Regarding my future endeavors, I will be attending the Honors College at Fairfield University for the next 5 years with a major in finance and a minor in actuarial science at the Dolan School of Business. I will also be receiving my Master of Business Administration in my 5th year. I am forever grateful for the opportunities provided to me through the engaging and thorough programs here at Apponequet. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful rest of your night hearing from these other lovely students.
Things like that.
Number 6, Kohana Fontina.
Hi, my name is Kohana Fontina and I am 6 in the class. During my time here at Apponequet, I have been a part of the varsity tennis, varsity volleyball, and winter track team, as well as DECA, Laker Leaders, and NHS. I have earned the role as National Honor Society Vice President and awards such as the Honors Chemistry Award, the South Coast Conference Super Team, South Coast Conference All-Star 5 times, and tennis and volleyball MVP and Captain's Awards. While growing at this school academically, I have also been able to grow as a person by growing fond memories here as well. One memory that has stuck with me was my volleyball senior night. I was able to reflect on all my accomplishments as a player here while also knowing that as this part of my life is ending, I also have lots to look forward to. Some teachers I would like to recognize that have helped me along the way are firstly Miss Vitera, who has given me opportunities to express myself through art, Miss Briggs, who has helped me feel understood through her kindness and in turn helped me understand the importance of pure generosity. And finally to my tennis coach, Coach Lanyon, who has also shown me how to find the good in everything. I would also like to recognize my family and the impact they had on me as well. My father has always been my role model and someone I strive to be. My mother has been my inspiration through her bravery and courage she's displayed. My sister has been my support system because no matter how big or small any event in my life was, I knew she would be there right behind me. Finally, my brother has been my sense of relief because no matter how stressed I got, he would always find a way to make me laugh or try to help me. In the near future, I plan to attend the University of Tampa, majoring in nursing and minoring in Spanish. However, in the far future, I plan to become a pediatric oncology nurse. Thank you for your time and for creating the school system that has made me the person I am today.
Great work.
Number 5, Alex Keith.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alex Keefe, and I am 5th in the class for the graduating class here at Apponequet. As someone who entered this school system during 8th grade and did so in the midst of a global pandemic, it was scary starting over somewhere new. Even a year later, being a freshman was a terrifying experience and was amplified even more by the fact that I got lost my first day of school. But since then, I've come so far in both my academic, personal, and emotional journey from that day in September 4 years ago. I am now the president and founder of the All Booked Out Apponequet High School Club, member of DECA, National Honor Society, and this year I was given the honor and privilege of being a part of the Apponequet players in both the Crucible and Chicago. But I couldn't have made it this far, however, without the help and support of the amazing educators here at Apponequet. For my freshman year with Dr. Vanderkaden, who helped me switch from Spanish 1 to Spanish 2 half through the year and still managed to win every Kahoot we did for quiz review. Sophomore year, Mrs. Mordini, who taught me the value of reading good literature, unlike our assigned reading of The Great Gatsby. My junior year with Mrs. Mills, whose lessons in physics taught me incredible valuable skills, such as running warm water under a Talente jar when the cover is frozen shut. And my senior year with Mrs. Brown, who one time had to listen to me explain how Georgiana Darcy from Pride and Prejudice was a Christ figure and let me read War and Peace from an outside reading book because I was going to read it anyways. It's been through these mentors and these experiences that I feel I've come into my own as an individual and developed my identity as an individual that I carry with me as I continue to grow and experience both the rewards and challenges of growing up and becoming my own person. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to my mom, my dad, and my brother for their incredible support and love for these past 4 years, especially this year because I was out of the house for 13 hours a day. It has been their support, along with so many other people, that has led me to where I am in life now, and speaking for all of you tonight. So thank you.
He's going to this year.
And number 4, Ryan Vincent.
Good evening. My name is Ryan Vincent, and I am ranked 4th in the graduating class of 2025 at Apponequet. To start, besides my academics, during my time here at Apponequet, I have played 3 sports: varsity soccer, varsity hockey, and track, where I've received many awards such as the Coaches and Character Award for soccer, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Offensive Player of the Year, as well as All-Star my junior year for hockey. I've also been a member of DECA, NHS, Laker Leaders, and the Portuguese Club for 2 years during my time here at Apponequet. I received science awards in honors biology, Python programming, AP biology, and AP physics. And during my summer breaks, I worked at Horseneck Beach, where I also volunteered with Gnome Surf Therapy. Some of my fondest memories during my time at Apponequet have come from playing for our ice hockey team, whether that be making it to the playoffs this past year, the spaghetti dinners before games, or just spending time with the team. Throughout my 4 years at Apponequet, there have been many staff members who have contributed to me becoming the person I am today, but I would just like to recognize a few who have had the most significant impact on me. The first being Ms. Herrera, who ever since I had her for biology my freshman year, has been one of my favorite teachers ever. She has caused me to work harder than I ever thought I could and been a major inspiration for my future career. The others being Mr. Rosa and Mrs. Cronin, who have done such an amazing job running and organizing our DECA chapter, taking time out of their own days and lives to bring our chapter on many field trips throughout the year in the district, state, and national levels. I would also like to thank my parents for their constant support thus far in my life, the friends who I've made along the way, as well as the amazing faculty and staff here at Apponequet. Next year, I plan to attend the University of South Carolina Honors College and pursue a dual degree in neuroscience and biomedical engineering with hopes to attend medical school post-undergraduate education. Thank you for your time.
Third in the class, Lucas Soares.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lucas Soares. I came back to the Freetown-Lakeville district in my freshman year returning to the FLRSD grounds for the first time since elementary school, after a 5-year hiatus during which I was homeschooled from 4th through 8th grade. My homeschooling experience was a unique opportunity that afforded me the freedom to explore topics of my interest, learn in my own way, and develop an independent love of learning that remains with me today. I must thank the person who was my teacher through this process, first and foremost, who also happens to be my mother. Without the values she instilled in me from a young age, I wouldn't have the drive or the curiosity that I do today, and I wouldn't be where I am now. So, wherever you are, thanks, Mom. After entering high school, I, more than most, was a timid and shy little freshman, knowing next to nobody save the few who remembered me from 3rd grade. I'd frequently get asked, "Aren't you Lucas Soares from 3rd grade?" accompanied by a quizzical expression upon their face. It wasn't too long, however, before I decided that the best way to meet new people was to get involved in just about every extracurricular activity that I could, and so I did. Early on, I got involved in student council, something which was one of the best decisions of my high school experience. Through student council, I learned the valuable skills of how to work as part of a team, how to lead groups on long-term projects and achieve goals, and most importantly, the tenets of leadership, including selflessness, pragmatism, creativity, and the willingness to uplift others. I'd like to thank the vibrant people who I've worked with on StuCo throughout the years, as well as Mr. Solomon for being a standout mentor figure in my development, helping to shape me into the adult today that I am. Not much longer into my freshman year, I went on to see Apponequet Players' fall play. This might have been the second best decision of my high school career, for I would go on to audition for the spring musical that year, and I have acted in every production since. It was here that I got to meet some of my closest friends, fell in love with drama and performance, and learned to loosen up and embrace the aspects of myself that I hadn't been able to before. I'd like to thank director Mr. Levesque for always reminding me of my love for theater and for guiding me along my acting journey. Former music director Mr. Ed Ledwith for always reminding me of my love for all things music. Choreographer Sabrina Korga for being a source of joy and unity within drama, as well as a true friend, and all my fellow thespians, past and present, some of whom are here tonight, for being my closest friends and creating the loving and welcoming environment that theater has come to represent to me. I also wouldn't be where I am today without acknowledging the incredible teachers who have guided me throughout my academic journey. I'd like to extend dear thanks to Mr. Michael Polino, who taught me chemistry, both honors and AP, in junior and senior years, for helping me to develop my critical thinking, conceptualization skills, passion for science, and most importantly, love for corny puns. Mrs. Bernadette Gray, who taught me geometry and AP calculus, for being my favorite ever math teacher, and for her unending kindness, and for helping me sharpen my problem-solving ability, and solidifying my love for math, which I have come to respect as the language of the universe. Additionally, Mrs. Julie Mills, who taught me physics and acted as advisor for Physics Olympics for my junior and senior years, for teaching me about the universe, resparking my love for physics and helping me redouble my commitment to pursue physics in the future. Throughout high school, I've had the pleasure to be involved in several different clubs and take active leadership roles in them, such as this year becoming president of the eBoard Student Council, as well as having a supporting role in this year's musical. I've also achieved honors science awards in biology, chemistry, AP chemistry, programming, AP Physics 1 and 2, as well as being recognized for receiving a 5 on the AP Science exams in junior year. For the fall, I was admitted and have committed to Harvard College and plan to study physics, concentrating in astrophysics. In the long term, I plan to pursue a career in research, endeavoring to pursue unanswered questions about the cosmos. To all the people, friends, family, and teachers who have helped me, thank you all. I could not have landed where I am now without your guidance and support. They say it takes a village, and I can definitely say that I have benefited from the support of a myriad of sources within the school community. I hope that going forward, this community can continue to support students through the teachers, clubs, activities, and resources that have helped me have an enjoyable and incredibly valuable high school experience. The youth are truly our future, and education is the pathway by which we shape what kind of future we want to support. I hope we can continue to recognize this vital fact and uplift the future generations. Thank you.
Nice handshake, too. Good job.
And number 2 in the class, Madeline Polachek.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Madeline Polachek. I have been a 3-season varsity athlete since freshman year and was nominated captain of the cross-country and track teams. I received the 2023 Cross Country Coaches Award and was also named to the SEC All-Star team. I am engaged in various extracurricular activities, including Laker Leaders, DECA, and National Honor Society. This year, I also participated in the Honor Bowl. I was nominated to the Principal and Superintendent's Roundtable, where I collaborate with peers and administrators to address equity and policy issues. I am also active in my community, mentoring young athletes in track camps, and have volunteered with Walt's Mobile Closet, Women and Infants, and New Balance Nationals. Currently, I am employed as a community organizer with Mass Now, where I work to address public health and equity issues. I have been a dedicated student throughout high school, maintaining highest honors every semester while taking the most rigorous classes. I have received the Science Course Awards in honors biology, chemistry, physics, anatomy and physiology, as well as AP chemistry and biology. Last spring, I was honored to receive the Bosch and Lomb Honorary Science Award. Some of my best memories at Apponequet are associated with my participation in sports. I'll never forget my favorite cross-country twilight meets at Barnstable Fairgrounds, where the course was marked with strings of Christmas lights and loud music. Nor will I forget the girls' cross-country team winning the South Coast Conference title for the first time in 30 years. I want to especially thank my parents and grandparents for their constant love and encouragement, who have been my biggest supporters, believing in me even when I doubted myself. I also want to thank all the teachers and staff at Apponequet. Dr. VK, thank you for being such a supportive and inspiring teacher. I am grateful for all my science teachers, especially Mrs. Ferreira and Mr. Polino, for inspiring me to be curious and for fostering my love of science. Your dedication, enthusiasm, guidance, and ability to make complex concepts more accessible has been invaluable. I also want to thank former Superintendent Mr. Alan Strauss, who always inspired and encouraged us, providing guidance and advocating for our Civic Action Project, showing up for our sporting events, and valuing our voices by creating the Principal and Superintendent's Roundtable. I'm excited to graduate and start the next chapter of my life. I plan on attending the University of Hartford this fall, where I will be majoring in nursing and participating in the Honors College. I am also grateful to be able to continue my running career as a member of the women's cross country and track teams. My ultimate goal is to become a certified registered nurse anesthetist. Thank you for your time.
In class of 2025, valedictorian, Neve Gallagher.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Neve Gallagher, and I am the valedictorian of the class of 2025. I have been a student within the Freetown-Lakeville School District since kindergarten and have loved growing up within this community. In terms of accolades, throughout my time at Apponequet, I have received science awards in each science course, put on the honor roll for every term, and I was identified as an AP Scholar by the College Board. This past winter, I received the Francis W. Galashaw Jr. Award and Scholarship for my involvement at Apponequet. Outside of academics, I have been a member of the girls' varsity lacrosse and soccer teams when they have each won the South Coast Conference Championship. Within the conference, I was a recipient of sportsmanship awards, as well as an honorable mention for the All-Star team last spring for lacrosse. I am also a member of Green Team, Portuguese Club,
Laker leaders, student council, and other clubs as well. One of my fondest memories of my time in the Freetown-Lakeville School District was the 8th grade social 4 years ago. Despite middle school being an uncomfortable and awkward time for many, and the additional stress that was brought on due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the 8th grade social was one of the best times because of the sense of unity and togetherness it brought for myself and my fellow classmates. I cannot think of another time where everyone was so excited to finally see each other than when we were all together underneath the Candyland-themed tent next to Apponequet's library. It was evident that there was a lot of hard work put into that event from faculty and parent volunteers alike, who wanted to create and host something special after the interesting and unique middle school experience we all had. I would like to take this time to recognize Mrs. Pacelli, Miss T, Senora Nardi, and Mrs. Day. These exceptional women have all had a tremendous and profound impact on me. Starting in elementary school, Miss T and Miss Day helped foster a passion for learning and working with others through warm and welcoming classrooms, always being so joyful and eager to help students. Mrs. Pacelli and Senora Nardi are two teachers who have been the most encouraging and supportive of me throughout my high school time, as they were always available to listen to me talk and help me with whatever I needed. It is because of these educators that I am able to stand before you all today with pride for all that I have accomplished here at Apponequet, and with hope to continue to work hard in the future. I would also like to recognize my parents, my siblings, and the rest of my family for providing me with unconditional love and support, and for always pushing me to be my best self. Next fall, I will be attending Tufts University, where I will be majoring in international relations with a minor in Arabic on a pre-law track. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you all so much for your presentations. At this time, we're going to take a 5-minute break so that we can congratulate our parents.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to congratulate all of you. To hear the accomplishments, the character, the appreciation for the district is so heartwarming, and on a personal level, I know many of you. I also have a senior, so congratulations, best of everything. The future is bright, and you certainly make this a proud night, but the district proud. Thank you on so many levels. Great job.
I also want to thank you as well, because seems like all of you took this experience as a great journey, and it's your milestone to go into a bigger places now. Thank you. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to say anything? Okay, let's take a 5-minute break. Well, it's going to be hard to follow that, that's for sure.
I had a blast.
Okay, you did. At this time, I'm seeking a motion to take action items out of order. I would like a motion to move action items E, B, C, and D in that order at this time.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, this is a majority. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any objections? Any abstentions? Okay, great. So first order of business is we are going to vote to transfer $665,960 from excess and deficiencies, E&D, contingent upon, 1, the ratification of the two one-year MOAs with the EAFL, and 2, the approval of a revised budget reflecting the amount necessary to fund the ratified MOAs. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
So this is just a vote for the financial monetary aspects of ratifying the agreements?
Correct.
So we're going to vote on the monetary aspect and then vote on the agreements second?
Correct.
That was under the advisement, if I may, through the
Yes.
chair. That was under the advisement of Kelly Gonzalez, legal counsel.
Okay.
Can you just repeat that? Because I couldn't hear Margaret's question. I couldn't hear a word you said.
Which part?
No, Courtney.
Okay, sorry.
My question was, so this is being split up into two sort of separate votes, and we're voting only on the monetary, how we're going to fund the contracts if we ratify them. That's what this vote is for.
Okay.
How we're going to fund them.
And what I had said as a follow-up through the chair was that that was the advisement of legal counsel Kelly Gonzalez.
Any other discussion?
I have a question. So are we using, where we are getting this fund from? Is in the budget or we are using,
Well, we're transferring $665,960 from E&D.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other discussion?
Mike,
Okay, go ahead.
so just so we're clear, if this doesn't pass, then what is the implication? The implication is that we would approve the contract with the, what's in it, and then we would still have to fund that because we would vote to approve it. If we don't move E&D, we're not going to go back and ask the member towns to increase the assessments. So then,
Through the chair, Mr.
Yes.
Higgins will answer that question.
So if you were to not fund the contracts and we were still going to operate under the current voted budget, it would require significant staffing cuts in all areas in order to come in under the budget number.
that we've already voted on. Okay.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Okay, this vote requires a simple majority, and this is a roll call vote, so,
Jen Blum,
yes.
Steve Sylvia.
Yes.
Bob Clark.
Yep.
Courtney Brightman.
Yes.
Crystal Ling.
Couldn't hear you, sorry. What was you? I just can't hear. Yes.
Carolina Hernandez.
Yes.
Melinda Richards.
Yes.
Tim Emery.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, motion passes. The second one is a vote to ratify a one-year MOA with the EAFL Teachers Unit to authorize the chair of the school committee to execute the agreement and to authorize and delegate authority to the interim superintendent of the Freetown Regional School District to effect and enforce this agreement.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that went faster than I expected. So, any discussion? Seeing none. This is also a roll call vote and a majority is needed.
Jen Blum.
Yes.
Steve Sylvia.
Yes.
Bob Clark.
Yes.
Courtney Brightman.
Yes.
Crystal Ling.
Yes.
Carolina Hernandez.
Yes.
Melinda Richards.
Yes.
Tim Emery.
Abstain.
So close.
And this is where we need our two select board members, so if you could please come up to the podium.
Chris Blanca.
I vote no.
And is Carlos?
He
left.
He's not here.
Oh, boy.
So
You have your majority.
you have your majority. Yeah.
Okay.
Motion carries.
Motion passes. Okay, next up is to vote to ratify the one-year MOA with EAFL Prior Professionals and the Secretaries Unit to authorize the chair of the school committee to execute the agreement and to authorize and delegate authority to the intern superintendent of the Freetown-Lakeville Regional School District to effect and enforce the agreement.
So moved. Second.
Do I have any discussion? Okay, seeing none, this again is a majority vote, and we'll call for a roll call.
Jen Blum,
Yes.
Steve Sylvia.
Yes.
Bob Clark.
Yes.
Courtney Brightman.
Yes.
Krista Ling.
Yes.
Carolina Hernandez.
Yes.
Melinda Richards.
Yes.
Tim Emery.
Yes.
Chris Plonka.
My vote is no.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. Okay, next up is to vote to adopt and revise the FY26 budget in the amount of $48,640,993, which contains the amounts necessary to fund the ratified contract.
So moved.
Second.
Do I have any discussion? Hey, you look like you were going to say something. Okay, seeing none. This is a 2/3 vote.
Jen Blum,
Yes.
Steve Sylvia.
Yes.
Bob Clark.
Yes.
Courtney Brightman.
Yes.
Krista Ling.
Yes.
Carolina Hernandez.
Yes.
Melinda Richards.
Yes.
Tim Emery.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Motion carries. Now we're going back to you, I believe.
I believe it comes back to me.
That's
Unless you
correct,
have
yeah.
anything else, Chairwoman.
I do not. Thank you very much, everybody.
Talk about this evening. Sorry about that, just getting ourselves back in order here. I'm providing for you an update this evening. My first thing was to present the top 10, so I thank you for entertaining and listening to our top 10 this evening. The students were very excited they're still here. They were very excited to present to you tonight and to have this bit of a ritual in the district continue. So please do let me know if you'd like to have it happen again next year, but I can tell you that the kids were very excited to prepare and present for you this evening. So thank you for entertaining them and hearing them. The second report I have for you tonight is an update regarding transportation. This is a bit of a blend of two items. I'm talking to you about the ongoing bus issue that we've had, in particular with the bus lateness in the afternoon, and also relative to the safety training of the drivers related to the new situation with trains coming through the towns. So just to let you know, since we met last, we've continued to monitor both of those situations daily. We've had a meeting regarding communication with Ken Resendes from First Student and the principals, and that is to expedite communication in the afternoon, in particular around the buses with our elementary students that are arriving late. And subsequent to that, I believe there has been a bit of an acceleration in that daily communication to parents so that they know which buses are arriving later than expected. In addition to that, we've had another series of bus evacuation drills with our students. And in alignment with those bus evacuation drills, we've also reviewed the behavior students are expected to have when we're at railroad crossings. And if you remember, we talked about that at a last meeting. So I witnessed one of those today over at Grace. And the students were very cooperative participants in jumping out of the back of the bus and then returning to the bus to learn or relearn what they should do when they cross the railroad tracks. We also have continued railroad safety training scheduled at all of the schools. I believe I spoke to you about that at the last meeting, and I'm happy to let you know that all of our schools have those scheduled to occur between now and the end of the year. And then we have, subsequent to our last meeting, had a training for our special education van drivers to remind them of, the cautions we take around railroad crossings. So that has occurred. And then our current and kind of next steps, we are creating an ARHS ridership survey for distribution at the high school level. And that's to help us in planning for our bus routes for next year so that we can try to curtail this issue with our elementary school students getting home so late. We are currently working with the bus company to run some trials and potential routes based on residency this year, so that we can take a look at how we might be able to alter our routes in conjunction with the ridership survey so that we can deliver our children home earlier, in particular in the afternoon. And then we are looking to come back to this meeting in June and announce to you some alterations to the start and end time of the school day kind of across the board. So that's where we are in terms of an update on bus transportation to date and our railroad crossing training for our drivers. And I'd like to just offer my thanks to the patients for all of our parents and caregivers at home who are waiting for our young students in the afternoon to come home. And I thank them for their patience as we continue with the 20 days that we have left, that we are dealing with this issue, and that we are really on it and trying to make sure this does not happen again.
Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you. Moving right along, I just alluded to some changes to our start and end times. And that, like I said, we're looking to come back to you in June with precise times for next year's start and end times. Some considerations we're making are relative to the contracts that you ratified this evening. We have additional learning time, which is always a good thing, happening at AES, FES, Grace, and FLMS next year. So when we're adding learning time to the day, we are changing either our start or our end time to the school day. So that's one thing we have to look at. We are also being cognizant of our after-school activities, in particular at the secondary level. We have our student athletes. You heard from many of them tonight. They are engaged in after-school athletic events, and we need to be cognizant of the time that those events start, and also how much time we leave between the end of a school day and perhaps the beginning of practice. Downtime is not always good. So we're being cognizant of that. We're also mindful of our secondary level students who are responsible for watching their younger siblings at home. So we need to make sure that there's a good gap in the time we're getting our older students home before our younger students get there. We're also comparing our start and end times to our surrounding communities, in particular those that have rural roots like ours. Our goal here is to address those PM late runs, as I said to you, and the late arrival of our elementary students at home. We are now accounting for the trains and the amount of time that takes when the trains are coming through town, and we are making considerations for traffic and sometimes the unavoidable driver shortages that we have due to illness or absence. The length of time students spend on a bus is also something we're considering, the number of buses we have and the distance of our routes. So that is kind of everything we're looking at right now as we come up with what we believe will be start and end times to each of our buildings that will afford our students the learning time they need here at school, and then an appropriate arrival time at home. So thank you again, and thank you to the community for your patience as we tease this out. If you have any questions, I could answer them now.
Thank you. I know this has been a burden for so many people, so I'm really glad that we're working hard to get that taken care of.
We are, and I thank you for recognizing that. And then I'll just be brief, interim superintendent's entry plan update. I am really happy to say that I've been all over the district and engaging with our students daily. I sound like a broken record when I say that we have wonderful students here in the district and an incredibly hardworking staff, and it has been a pleasure to be welcomed into the classroom and to engage with our students. And you can see, we'll just pop through the slides. In addition to that, I've continued with meeting with people. I've met with almost all the Freetown Select people, almost all the Lakeville Select people, and attended as many events here in the community as I possibly can. It's been a delight to be back. The inclusivity is almost beyond words, and I'm grateful for all the students I've had the opportunity to meet and have discourse with. The kids are very willing to advocate for themselves, very willing to share their thoughts and opinions about how school should run, and I'm more than willing to listen to them right now, that's for sure. We were over at the round table today over at Freetown-Lakeville Middle School discussing a policy that I'll be talking to you about a little bit later on the agenda tonight. And we had nearly a 45, 50-minute meeting, and I think I'd still be sitting there if we hadn't adjourned it. The kids are very thoughtful about how they'd like to see policies set in the district and how they'd like to have their day run and all of those things. So looking forward to sharing more of that with you.
I miss hearing how many days you're at.
I was going to ask her that.
Yeah.
You beat me to it. I have stopped counting.
Have you lost track?
I have
Really?
stopped
Good, that's
counting,
great.
and I haven't had time to count. How's that? But
yeah, we like that. Settled in nicely.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But I have a lot of students to thank for that. The kids are absolutely wonderful, and teachers who have been so welcoming. And again, our central office staff here.
That's great.
So thank you.
Thank you.
I am functioning as our Director of Curriculum and Assessment tonight. Ms. Fleming had a family obligation this evening, so I was happy to relieve her from being here tonight, and I thank you for allowing her to not be here this evening as well. She was having me simply report on our homeschool families. We currently have 82 families who are engaging in the homeschool program. I did put a link to the DESE regulations there for you, because DESE does oversee and set policy related to homeschooling. Our homeschool families have their progress report due to Terry Fleming by June 30th of 2025, so anybody who's tuning in, that's a reminder. They are sending in a progress toward proficiency report highlighting everything their students have accomplished at home this year, academically, civically, and socially. Once those are received by Terry Fleming, she will review those, and then she will communicate with the families regarding their new intent to participate in homeschooling if that's their choice, in advance of next year's academic year, and then she will send a letter of confirmation off to them. And certainly, I would welcome any family who's currently homeschooling, who's interested in coming back to the district, to contact us through Terry Fleming. We're happy to provide tours of buildings. We're happy to establish meetings with teachers or administration in advance. Lucas was a good example this evening of a student who took some time and engaged in homeschooling and determined to come back to the district and had a wonderful experience here in the district, and we would welcome any homeschool family who would like to have those conversations with us to please do so.
Thank you.
All right, and with your permission, I'll turn things over to our Director of Finance and Facilities.
Thank you. We have several items to update you on regarding facilities and operations in the district. The Assawamsett Elementary School generator installation has now been completed. The final steps were this week, which was the patching of the asphalt. Otherwise, during the April vacation, the full installation was done with testing. So we have a fully operating whole building generator at AES, which can be useful not only to the district, but also to the town of Lakeville in the cases of emergency. The FES HVAC controls project, I've given you updates on this project over the past several months. This project was to bring in a control system so that we could have a more efficient and comfortable HVAC system at FES. Prior to this, the controls that were we were utilizing were not connecting with all of the elements of the HVAC system. In fact, very few of those elements. So in order to run the winter heat, it was essentially turn it on. You got one temperature, and and then you open the windows when it got too warm. With the controls now, we are able to not only monitor, obviously, I think like the thermostat, but also occupancy of the building. So or even in classrooms. So if a classroom is not occupied, it will automatically go into a quiet mode, in which case it's not utilizing the same amount of fan service. And that's because when students are in a classroom, they create quite a bit of carbon dioxide. The human beings create quite a bit of carbon dioxide. It reads that system, it measures it, and then it brings in more fresh air as necessary, but also heated air as well, if it is needed. In the campus HVAC system, we had several deficiencies that were identified as a part of this larger project, and we've been working on those over the last several years, but this year was a big part of it. And probably the largest element of that was putting all of the exhaust fans, which had been brought into the district within the last 5 years, but had not been fully operational. They brought them all online. That has made a significant difference in the air quality in all three of the buildings in the campus, with the air circulation occurring, which we think maybe is one of the unforeseen consequences when we talk about we've had 3 fire alarms or smoke alarms go off at the high school over the last 3 weeks. They happened on May 2nd, May 9th, and May 15th. They happened around the same time, late in the afternoon, 2 Fridays and a Thursday. When we brought our service company to come in and check, they identified that the system was working out correctly. All of the nodes as well as the loop were working correctly. There was nothing wrong. But what was likely happening is that pollen and particulates were getting into the smoke alarm, and it uses a laser, and once it gets blocked in the same way it might block with smoke, it will go off and then trigger the fire alarm. we are looking into more detail, but we're speculating that in fact the exhaust fans are doing their job. They're pulling more air. It's warming up in the afternoon. The teachers are opening the windows as they should, as they would. It's pulling more air in because there's more air circulation. We will have the service company come in and do a full cleaning of all the smoke alarms so that this should not be a problem going forward. But we understand that sometimes when you see pollen floating from the trees, it potentially could happen again. So we're keeping a close eye on it. And that's the facilities update at this point.
Thank you. We'll turn things over to Kelly Steele.
So I'm shifting from my numbers report and kind of doing a combination of Special Olympics, which is my favorite day of the year, and then just a couple other updates and just some informative things people have asked me questions about. I felt that this was the best place to kind of answer those questions. So we had the Special Olympics last Friday. It was cloudy, which was great news for us because when it's sunny, it's not so great. And we had all of our schools participate. FES had 11 students, Grays had 5, FLMS had 7 students, and ARHS had 13. So we had a really good showing. A lot of families, which was awesome, and then a lot of our staff. So I'll probably just show you this quick slideshow. And I just did it by school. So Freetown Elementary School was first. You see my cute little identical twins on the left. And this was just, they did it by stations, which is great if you ever, see the Special Olympics. They did it so well in Dartmouth and they organized it. So elementary was on one side and the far side, you'll see was the secondary level. So you'll see all of that. So I did 3 slides for each school. And I think as much as you see the kids and how great they are, the staff are right with them, which I think is really important to note. You're going to see a lot of staff just participating. We have our related service providers on the right side with our Grace kids. We are our paraprofessionals, BCBA on the left, and then we have everybody mixed in for the race in the middle. And then we have our friend showing her muscles on the left. And then this is the rest of Grace doing a little bit of an obstacle course that they had set up there for them on that side. And then our middle school, starting at secondary, they did a little bit of a long jump. And then they did some other kind of field activities on their side. So some of them are the same, some of them are different. Our special ed administrator for secondary, Danielle Johansson, was there, and Shelley, one of our paraprofessionals, and then they were also doing the long jump. And our high school team, a little bit of our group in the middle, and then soccer was a huge hit. And then our friend was running the race, and then just kind of some activities between all of the different groupings. I love that action shot, by the way, in the middle. It's one of my favorites. But it was just great, and everybody, our PT there working over on that side. It was a great event, and it was great seeing other schools, and some of the kids recognized other kids from events, which was really nice. And then I just have a video at the end. Oh, you don't have permission? That's too bad. I'll just talk about it. There's a video, it's like 1 minute long. But it's FES, they have all their students go out. I don't know if anyone's aware, but they go out. So when we come back on the bus with the athletes, all of the kids from the school have signs welcoming them back. And then the kids get off the bus and they cheer every single kid that gets off the bus coming back into the building. So I did have that video. I'm bummed. I thought it was going to go through, but it didn't.
That is awesome.
We are going to work on that.
That is so awesome.
All right.
I want to see that.
Yeah, we'll close out the meeting because it's only a minute long, but I'll give you permission.
It was just awesome.
Yeah, so I got a really nice video of that. It is just really great to see. So I do want you to see it. So I can, I'll go on my email and give you access, or you can log in under me. Oh, because you're signed into Renee, that's why. I'll share it with Renee. But I can just do that real quick. Sorry, I wouldn't be on my phone otherwise. And then I'll go into my other things while we do that.
I will fill the air by echoing Kelly's sentiment. It was an excellent day to see our students, our special education staff, our paraprofessionals, and our parents, and the huge support from the Dartmouth community for hosting, and the state police who turned out to support our students. It was an excellent day. I showed up for lunch. The kids were so hungry by lunchtime because they had just participated in everything. And without fail, when I was asking what was your favorite event, I would get a mouthful of pizza telling me all of them and how much fun they really had.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. It was great. It was great.
And Dartmouth does do a great job hosting.
They
really do. They put a lot of time and effort into it.
They
so
really do. It was just a day
thank
filled
them.
with happiness and kindness and physical activity outside, and to the point about the weather, it was like just the perfect day.
yeah.
It wasn't too hot, nice cover of, nice cloud cover over us.
Can't ask for more on a field day, that's for sure.
Ryan, it's your authenticator that's getting me, just so you know. I keep doing it, but it won't let me.
We could probably move on, Kelly, and then
Yeah,
I'll try to help
I
you.
can't, I can't do it.
Phone.
All right, so CPAC, we are wrapping up. I can't believe we have one meeting left. It's the 3rd, June 3rd at 6:30. I'm going to be working on summer planning, but they're going to be voting for their new CPAC positions, their board positions. So once I know who those people are, I will be doing planning over the summer to do agenda setting and talk about topics and guest speakers and all of those types of things. So that we have one left. It would be great for people to participate. And again, that's going to be 6:30 here in the high school. There has been some conversation. We haven't gotten further than that, but people have given ideas such as maybe shifting our location so it's not always at the high school, and maybe that'll get other people more interested to going to different schools. So I think we'll talk about a lot of those different options to increase participation. I'm not making, there's no decisions made, just conversation about how it would help. So if anybody has ideas on what they'd like to see for CPAC, please reach out. So that's the last meeting. I'll be at that meeting. And then I just had some clarification. People have been asking me some questions about evaluations in the district and who does what and the roles and the responsibilities. So I know I've missed a couple of meetings, and I do apologize for that. But I just wanted to kind of clarify the roles and responsibilities and who is doing what in the district. So I guess I'll start with school psychologists, and this will just be a summary. So their job is to conduct cognitive evaluation. So they don't conduct neuropsychological evaluations in the district, and they don't conduct functional behavioral assessment, FBAs. We don't do neuropsychs in the district, but we do conduct functional behavioral assessments. That's done by BCBA. So we do have a full-time BCBA in the district, and then we also contract out for 1 day a week at Grays and 1 day a week at Assawamsett, and the other BCBA covers the other schools. So we do have those in place, and they do our FBAs for the district. But our school psychs conduct the cognitive evaluation, so looking at those full-scale IQs, evaluations like that. They conduct rating scales with the school staff and home. They do classroom observations. They conduct academic achievement testing. And that, to clarify that, there's initial evaluations and re-eval. So initial is whether a school-based team refers a child for an evaluation or an outside person, like a family member, requests an evaluation. So that can happen at any time. We can't really predict necessarily the initial request. Then we have re-evaluations. Those are at least every 3 years. Sometimes they do get moved up, but they have to be done at least every 3 years. So that's the combination. And then there's also additional requests for testing. So a student who might be on an IEP, but we want a clearer picture, there's additional testing that can be requested by the team or by home. So the school psychologist is doing all of that. And on top of that, they are completing the specific learning disability eligibility forms. And they're also, one of our school psychologists that we brought on this year is conducting all of our out-of-district evaluations for the programs that don't. Most of our out-of-districts don't provide those evaluations. We have to send our own people out. And it is, sometimes the drive could be an hour. It is pretty extensive. So that's kind of the combo of things that our our 4 school psychologists are doing. And again, to share, one is at FES and stays there because Karen also does preschool. So she's preschool and she's the elementary. Then I have Craig, who goes between AES and Grace. I have Sue Clancy at the middle school because that is our biggest number-wise. And then Noelle Romeo does the high school and all of my out-of-district evaluations. So that's really school psych. So I just want to clarify what they are doing in the district. And then the special ed teachers are not doing testing in the district. I did come from a district where they did do testing, so I understand the model. I've looked into it here. Concerns here are they don't have a testing block currently. They'd have to have that change in their job expectation, and then that would pull them from servicing students. They're booked tight, so I looked at all their schedules. They don't have extra time in their schedule. So we would have to somehow give service delivery to pull them out for a testing block, and then they would have to write the reports and do all of that. And it's not just for re-evals, it's also for initials. They would get assigned initial evals as they came in. And then we're also doing testing on iPads, so I'd have to purchase pairs of iPads for the special ed teachers to be able to do that testing. So trying to be fiscally responsible, it would still make sense for our school psychologists to be doing all of those evaluations at this current time. The money is definitely staggering comparing making that switch. I think it's something that districts have done, but they've had to do it and plan it over time. And that's not something I would be against, but something that would take more planning moving forward. And then the last piece of that is just like I talked about the BCBAs, they do all of our FBAs. I do have broken down, we've had 34 FBAs in the district this year and across all buildings. And then they write the reports, and then they also write the behavior intervention plans if they're recommended through the FBA. So that's a bigger chunk of things that they do. So I just wanted to provide some clarity on what we're doing in the district evaluation-wise, but also kind of why we're doing it the way we're doing it. To really support the kids and have teachers in front of the kids, but also fiscally being responsible. So I don't know if you guys have any questions. I know I missed a lot of these conversations, so I just wanted to give some info.
And by having the school psychologist, we saved a ton of money by not outsourcing it. Because I remember before we were outsourcing it and we were spending a lot of money on that. So by having these school psychologists, we've cut that right back, correct?
Correct. So what I just looked last year, if we just looked at what we had to do for our own district and have to look outside, it was $48,000. But on top of that, it was an additional about $12,000 to do our out-of-district evaluation. So that hit us at about $60,000. And then this year, we haven't had to use, and we had to use extra read slots that we pay for, which was another at least $6,000 or $8,000. So we were at almost the $70,000 mark with that. So yes, just that piece alone was well worth us bringing in a school psychologist and doing the work for our own. If we were to take that psychologist away, I'd have to pay out more, and now the costs have gone up. They've just given me my new cost for next year, and the out-of-district sourcing is pretty expensive. So it's more than a break even. We probably were about $5,000 to $6,000 savings by bringing in the school psychologist. I would expect that to kind of track over time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
I heard a couple acronyms, and I'm not sure I know what they all mean. What's FBA?
Functional behavior assessment.
Okay.
So if a student's having some difficulty kind of modulating and self-regulating within the classroom, the team may recommend, or someone might ask for a functional behavioral assessment, and it's really an observation in the classroom, multiple observations, taking data throughout the classroom, looking at antecedents and responses and the behavior that comes with it, and then reviewing that with the whole IEP team, and then developing, if necessary, a behavior intervention plan, which then isn't an IEP, it's something that can be molded over time, and it can shift according to the child's need, and it gets shared with the family and also the school so that everybody's on the same page. So the BCBA, Behavior Certified Analyst, is the one that puts all of that together and works with the team to implement it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Any other questions? Okay, we're going to move on to the subcommittee reports, starting with the Regional Finance Committee.
Nothing new to report. We do have a meeting scheduled next week.
Okay. Interim Superintendent's Evaluation Committee.
Nothing at this time, but we do need to get a meeting on the books, and I'll reach out to Renee. Looking forward to hearing goals for the upcoming school year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wellness, we have nothing so far. Policy Committee?
Nothing to report.
Through the chair,
Yes.
I'm looking to set up a policy meeting or have one set up. We are looking at a draft of an AI policy to be adopted by the district. It is currently being reviewed by all of our school councils and by our students at their roundtables. So I'd like to bring that forward to the policy committee maybe at the beginning of June.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Good for you. Okay, moving on to the Capital Committee.
Nothing.
Just a point on that, when the student councils or school councils are done reviewing, can we see a draft, at least the members or the policy subcommittee in advance of just the initial meeting? Which I'm sure
Absolutely.
you would do anyway. But
Yes.
Thank you.
And how about the Pool Subcommittee?
We were in the process of identifying 3 more members to fill the committee. Renee, thank you for forwarding over emails that had happened prior to the election. I was able to see a couple extra requests, so we'll be in touch. Greg is not back yet from leave, so we'll be reaching out to him as well to set up our initial meeting over at the pool, and that'll be our first step in the right direction. We're still waiting to hear on the funds when they come in to be able to fund the engineering study, and then we'll know better
Okay, so I think Greg still has some time, right?
Correct.
So in the meantime, from now until Greg comes back, we'll have those 3 community members?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent.
Yep, and I've communicated with one of them so far.
Okay.
But with Crystal and I spoke and identified the other 2, which will make a full committee.
Okay.
For
A
now.
7? Okay,
For now, yep.
great. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why can't we take money from E&A to pay for this, what is it, a study?
The engineering study?
The engineering study.
There's no reason, I mean, you would have to make that decision. Quite honestly, though, as I shared with you, we weren't sure of the timing on the money that's being set aside in the earmark.
Right.
Ultimately, that would be a decision the school committee could make if they wanted to set that money aside, and then with the idea of it being moved back, should the money become available.
Right.
Okay. So we
Because it
definitely
just
visit
seems
that.
like,
So that's something maybe we can look into.
Yeah, we can
and
visit
discuss.
that.
right,
And
okay. Because it just seems like I thought it was over and we were just waiting for results. I
Sure.
didn't realize it hadn't even started yet.
Yeah.
So just to get some answers so we can just,
Start moving it forward. Yeah,
Start moving it
absolutely. Go ahead, Tim.
Without being too forward, could we add that discussion as an action item on the June meeting?
Yes,
And-
I think that would be a good
And have a vote on
idea.
it
Yes.
to move funds in advance of the hopeful
Earmark.
refund of it?
Yep. Yep.
Do we know when we're going to hear back from the senator's office about the earmark?
We don't. They're still waiting for as it goes through committees and votes. But we have been, promised, but I can't give you any more than that.
Promises.
That's a great idea, Crystal.
Yeah, that is a great idea. So we'll get that on for June.
Thank you.
Okay, any subjects of discussion come before the committee?
I actually have a point of discussion through the chair.
Sure, go for it.
Acushnet Public Schools, one of our neighboring communities, is reevaluating its agreement relative to high school selection for Acushnet students. Acushnet stops at grade 8. Currently, their grade 8 students have a choice to go to either Fairhaven High School, New Bedford High School, Bristol Aggie, or Old Colony. And recently, another neighboring high school secured a spot at a Acushnet School Committee meeting this summer to present their high school as an option because they're reevaluating their agreement. With our outstanding academic programs, our stellar athletic programs, our palette of extracurricular choices, and our successful post-secondary planning that you heard about from just a small portion of our population tonight, I think that ARHS would make an excellent choice for Acushnet students. Entering into an agreement with Acushnet Public Schools could provide a great opportunity for Acushnet students, a good opportunity for our students to meet some students they haven't been to school with, and also could provide a funding source for Freetown-Lakeville Regional Schools, and could also address some of our enrollment concerns here at the high school. When I heard that they were reevaluating and understanding that another high school had already communicated with their school committee, I reached out to Chair Blum and Vice Chair Sylvia and just asked permission to send an email asking for information from the Acushnet School Committee. So they afforded me that opportunity. So I wrote to Dr. Paula Bailey, who's the superintendent of Acushnet Public Schools, and just asked for information on our behalf. Dr. Bailey will be presenting our request for information to her school committee at a meeting coming up prior to your June meeting. It is my hope that they agree to send us information so that we could entertain the possibility of submitting a proposal. And I look forward to coming to you in June with some information about what that type of proposal would look like, and perhaps gathering your support to pursue, throwing our hat in the ring, for lack of a better word, to see if we could entice Acushnet Public Schools to have their 8th graders join us for 9th grade. I don't know if anyone has any questions about that, and I'll be up front. Beyond what I've just shared with you right now, I don't have much else to share because I don't have the informational packet from Acushnet Public Schools yet.
Well, I certainly look forward to getting that information. Any questions about that? Any comments? No? Okay, moving on to our action items. We have already taken care of the votes A through E, so let's move on to F. I'm seeking a motion at this time to approve the payroll vendor warrants from 5/14/2025.
So moved. Second.
I hear it. So moved in the second. Any discussion on this? This vote is a simple majority. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any abstentions? Any objections? Motion passes. Moving on to G, I am seeking a motion to approve the regular session minutes from 5/7/25.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
Abstain. I would like to abstain, sorry.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions?
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Yep, go ahead.
Did we do A, the calendar and events?
We did.
We did it? Okay.
Yeah, we did. You weren't here, I'm sorry.
No, that's right.
Seeing 7:57 on May 21st, 2025, I am seeking a motion to adjourn this meeting. Oh, go ahead, sorry, Bob.
I was driving by the elementary school the other day, Freetown Elementary, to retrieve a ball that went over the fence right where Memorial Drive joins with Bullock. And you know how you drive by something 100 times and don't see anything? At that end of the playground, there are some very large rocks that are just sitting there. And these kids, they're in constant motion. It concerns me that some kid could trip, fall into those stones. I wonder if you might put them back on the wall where they, I think, originally came from. I don't know how long they've been there. Like I said, I've driven down there for years. But that made me look at it and say, that's not such a good idea to have those things there. When I was younger, I would have picked them up with one hand, of course. But now it might take some effort for a couple of people to put them back. I don't know how the committee feels about that, but it's something that I don't think should be there.
We will look into the rocks.
Thank you.
And before we adjourn, Renee would love to see this video. Oh, that is so awesome. Look at everyone lined up like that.
And they were wrapped all the way around the school. That was just one angle, but it was really great.
Capturing that, Kelly. That's wonderful.
And we certainly thank Principal Ward and his
Yes.
staff at the school and all of his students.
Can I just say about the civics?
Yes.
8th grade civics. I just want to say that was awesome. Courtney was there with me. We could only pick one project from each room, and I had my 2-year-old with me, who says she's shy, but they were very, very sweet, all of the kids, and I just want to thank them all for doing such awesome projects. Thank you. And thank you for inviting us.
Love to be involved. Anything else? Okay, seeing 8 PM, I'm seeking a motion to adjourn this meeting, May 21st.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.